welcome back to Russian Travels. So I've listened to the community, they've asked me to answer so many questions, so thank you so much for all the comments. So what I'm going to do today is sit down and answer some of those questions. My wife is going to ask me the questions, I'll be on camera, my wife will be in the background, so I'll answer the most popular ones. Let's take a look.
So the question with the most likes is, do your children like studying in Russian school?
That's a very good question. Surprisingly, to my amazement, they settled into the school extremely well. Teachers were very supportive. Yes, we kind of discussed that there was limited Russian that the boys knew, but they made friends probably after the first day. After the first couple of weeks, their Russian really started to improve. So yeah, they liked it from day one. I can't say they didn't. The one boy's in gymnasium, the eldest, and George is in kindergarten. And even meeting the kindergarten, which actually was the kindergarten where my wife went to when she was growing up, I can remember one of the words the head teacher was, she just said, he doesn't know much Russian, but he'll learn. And basically thrown in at the deep end, and they, yeah, like I said, they made lots of friends, and just, yeah, really enjoying it. I'm truly amazed and grateful for how they've settled in. Yes, it was a little bit of a change because there's a lot of homework in Russian schools, but with help, support, mainly from my wife, yeah, they've adapted very well, and also, yeah, but Babushka's helped as well, so that's always a big plus. But yeah, they've settled in remarkably well.
Okay, second question, the most popular one. I think you mentioned you were Russian Orthodox. Very interesting to learn how you arrived at that decision.
Yeah, that's another good question. Obviously, I was Christian, Church of England. As you know, my wife is Russian. She is Orthodox Christian. Where we lived, about probably 20 minutes drive from our home, we discovered there was actually a Russian Orthodox church in the city of Bristol. So my wife went to visit the church, again, being Russian people, mainly Russian people. There's a few other English people actually there as well. But my wife was very welcomed into the church. She immediately made friends there, got on very well with Father Mikhail, the priest, who's actually French-Russian. And she invited me to go along. I was a bit anxious to go because, again, being Russian and with, again, not knowing too much Russian, I thought it's going to be a bit uncomfortable for me, especially the services being in Russian and things like that.
Russian and English. Russian
and English, sorry there, but majority of the services is in Russian because, yes, Orthodox services are rather long, going 2.5 hours. But I was just, it was really the first time I've been introduced to an Orthodox church, and I was blown away by the true roots of Christianity it showed. Icons, absolutely incredible to see those, and just the sheer willingness of people wanting me to join the church. So I attended quite a few services with my wife. And then over the months, we had our new boy, George. And when he was actually christened there, I was baptized on the same day with Father Mikhail. So it's quite an interesting story. We attended that church for about 2 years until we've obviously moved here. I was an active member behind the scenes as well. I developed the website, Facebook page, things like that. And my wife also looked after the, she was a treasurer, so she looked after the accounts with the church. So we're both active members, out, kind of behind the scenes of the church, as well as attending the services and meeting new people. And we actually found new friends there. They're now godparents to our children as well. So it just opened up another community, especially being half English, half Russian family, for us, allowed us to just enjoy the Russian culture as much as the English culture. So yes, that was a very good question and a very interesting part of my life that I'm now happy to be part of, especially with obviously the beautiful churches here in everywhere you go in Russia.
Don't you want to tell about your St. Sabas experience?
Yes, also that's a good point. Through the church, we managed to get on one of the
pilgrimages.
Yeah, pilgrimages. Sorry, struggling for the word there. Which was organised through the churches, mainly based in England and beyond. And
organised by Russian Orthodox Church,
which was organised by the Russian Orthodox Church. So we had a trip to Israel and we toured a lot of the monasteries and churches. Absolutely amazing. One of the best things I've ever done. We went to St. Sabas. I met a monk there because still this Orthodoxy was fairly new to me at this point. One of the monks kind of singled me out, really nice, and he kind of explained what Orthodoxy was. And that's when something sticks in your mind, when somebody says something to you with so much passion and trueness. And his words were simply that Orthodoxy is the true Christianity because it's from the roots. And that made me think, yes, well, that is it. That's what Christianity is. It's from the roots. It hasn't branched out anywhere. It's not trying to become something else. So, obviously it got me more and more interested into Orthodoxy and the kind of theology. So, the church has opened up a lot of kind of things I've been doing. But I just thought we'd share that kind of story on the back of Orthodoxy there as well.
Shall we say hello to Father Philip and everybody who's watching us from our church in Bristol?
Yeah, so that's a good one. So hello, Bristol Russian Orthodox or Orthodox of the Holy Trinity in Bristol. Big hello to everyone, Father Philip as well, and obviously the regular members. Yeah, okay. So let's move on from that one.
Okay, the next one. Are you going to visit St. Petersburg and Moscow when your youngest grows up a little?
100%. I'd go and visit those tomorrow if I could. Obviously, we know there's a lot of snow, so we can't jump on a plane now. But
we can.
And yes, with the little one. But it's St. Petersburg. I think my favourite city is it, but I think everybody kind of says that, or Moscow. So yeah, what can I say? They're two massive cities. They've got so much culture, so much art. The architecture I fell in love with in St. Petersburg. Who can't? It's an incredible city there on the water. Lots to do, art museums. And Moscow's Moscow. It's just a fascinating city everywhere you turn. The things I like about bigger cities as well, yes, I'm trying to learn Russian, but there are kind of more English speaking people as well. So it's not making things easier because I can manage quite well in Russia, not speaking Russian, but it's just nice to have some conversation without translation or something like that. So yes, the bigger cities do inspire me as well, as much as some of the smaller villages and cities, but that's an absolute must. I think we'll go once this weather settles down, possibly sooner. I don't know. Hopefully
soon. How can foreigners move if they don't have a Russian wife?
That's a good one, and I think we had to answer this one. Yes, it was slightly easier for me because I had Russian children. Obviously, they've got Russian passports, things like that, and a Russian wife, as you just said. But I think there's lots of visas. The borders are not closed. I think the best piece of advice is just go to your consulate or even just a Russian visa centre. They're still going. There's like Russian visa centre in London in the UK. I think there's one in Manchester. And just Google it. Or go to one of the largest cities in your country. mainly your capital city, and there will be a visa centre there, and they will give you as much general information as they can of what visas are available.
There are websites.
There's websites, yes. Just
I mean, official embassies and consulates websites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just Google it, but yeah, just Google Russian visa centre in your country, and yeah, they'll be very helpful.
Okay, what do you miss the most?
Miss the most where?
Everywhere. I mean, probably in the UK. It's just said.
Yeah, I think that's what it related to. I'll be honest. I have another daughter in the UK. She's fairly grown up, 16. So she decided to stay in the UK. I miss her terribly. I want her to come to Russia for a holiday, for a vacation, and see this amazing country through her own eyes, without, how can I say this, certain words being put in her head through certain channels she's in. I don't want to say too much when I say channels, not channels on YouTube, just what she's hearing from her surroundings, and for her to make her own mind up of what she thinks of Russia. On the back of family, I haven't got much family in the UK, just my daughter. All my other family, mama, papa, brothers, sisters, all live in Australia. So I haven't got that many ties as such, apart from my daughter in the UK. But the other thing I do miss is, I love Russian food. It's just some of the dishes I'm used to. I've got to say it, fish and chips, okay? An English breakfast, just certain things like that. And also, I think what I'm finding most difficult, which is food related, is being able to get the meat that I'm used to be able to get in. Here, it's kind of, you have to go to, say, what we'd call a butcher's. I'm a bit...
Market.
Or a market, like a market where it's got like a butcher's stall. And still it's getting the kilograms right and what meats I'm choosing, the quality of meats, things like that, where supermarkets back home, it's all on the shelves there, more than what it is here in Russia. You know, there's a whole aisle of just meat, for example, and it's just easier to kind of know what quality you're getting there. So just little things like that. Am I missing anything else? Like, honestly, I'm not really missing. I don't think my home wasn't lovely, but I've got a lovely home here now as well. I don't really think about it. I'm so just enjoying, embracing Russia, the culture, the people, the children, most importantly, what they're doing, schooling, which we've just touched on. So I'm not really missing anything, no.
Right. So what's the biggest difference between other countries and Russia?
This is a good question. It's quite a difficult one, this. The biggest difference, there's a lot of similarities, I will be honest. So that's why I'm finding this one quite difficult to answer. I think my initial kind of thoughts were, people are great, but it takes time to earn your trust from people. Not like, because the Russian people can come across sometimes, especially when you first get here, that they're a bit standoffish. They don't smile at you. It takes that trust that you are genuine as much as they're genuine back with you, if that kind of makes sense. So I think there's no falseness here in Russia. So it's kind of like, oh my God, did they like me? You know, why are they not smiling at me? Yeah, I think it's more of that than anything else. Also, it's something driving related. This is just off the top of my head, because like I said, that I've adapted so well. Is nobody thanks. Like in the UK, when we let somebody out, when we're driving, when we're kind of just, I don't know, you've done something to let them through or whatever, you'd thank. And here it's like, no, there's no thank you. It's like, oh, didn't they like that? What I did there. So that does take a lot of getting used to. It's like, but now I'm like, I don't bother thanking. It's like, who's that weirdo waving at me in the car? It's like, yeah, I think I think that is just driving related and kind of, yeah, people related there in a sense. But
sorry to interrupt. Yeah. I think that could also relate to what do you miss in England. I personally miss this politeness. It's actually quite nice. It's
the politeness. I'm not saying Russian people are not polite, and they absolutely are, but it's just that
thank you, that thanking all the time.
I've been told off for spasiba, spasiba, spasiba all the time. It's like, stop saying thank you. We don't want thank you from you. We're doing this as we would always do this. It's kind of, they don't expect that thank you all the time. And we're in England, America, Australia, some of the countries I've lived, even Spain with a different language there, it's always like, yes, thank you, thank you. But it feels like false in a way sometimes when you're doing that as an English person, and that's one of the things that attracted me so much to Russia is you're true. You're not trying to be false. You're true, but it can come across as being, oh, they don't like me. But now I get it, and that's why I think I feel so comfortable and so safe here, is because nothing's false. Nobody's trying to fool you as much. And people do stick to the rules. So again, that makes you feel safe. The rules, yes, there's a lot of rules here, like every country, laws, things like that. You know, if you stick to them, yeah, and understand them, you kind of, yeah, it makes you feel safe. So yeah, that's, I think, how I can explain it the best.
Okay, have you ever eaten haggis?
Have you ever eaten haggis? Oh dear. So that's somebody coming from Scotland there. Haggis. For those of you who don't know what haggis is, it's a mixture of oatmeal or oat porridge or kasha porridge, oats, mixed with like a meat and some herbs and a few other kind of spices, and then it's wrapped in a pig's intestine and then boiled, and then you cut into it and you kind of eat it. So it's like kind of like a sausage meat with like kind of like breadcrumbs, but it's like yeah, the oats, but it's kind of that texture in a way, like when you have what's the Russian meat we had last night?
Котлеты.
Katsleka.
Котлеты.
Katsleti. I'm probably getting that wrong, but yeah, it's kind of like that, the meat in there. But yes, I have, is the answer, and it's delicious. I love it, especially if you go to Scotland and have it proper in a nice restaurant, or sometimes they have it for breakfast, things like that. So
I think it's a breakfast thing, isn't it?
It's more, yeah, it's more, probably Scotland's going to hate me for saying this. Yeah, it's probably more of a breakfast thing, haggis. So with some Scotch eggs and maybe not Scotch eggs with that, but eggs and things like that. So yes, I have.
Okay. Do you know anything about your ancestors? Can you tell us about them?
Wow, this is a hard one. You know what? I feel a bit annoyed with myself. I don't. I've never researched my ancestry back. I don't know. I've just been, I think, so comfortable with where my life is and with my immediate family, brothers, sisters, mum, dad. All I know is my grandmas. I didn't get to see one of my grandfathers. I only got to see my other grandfather till the age of about 3 or 4. So I don't really know my grandfathers or diedushkas. I got on very well with my grandparents, grandmothers. They did live with us for quite a while in one of our houses with our family back in the UK when we were growing up. All I know is my whole family comes from the north of England, Manchester area or Derbyshire area, up on near to the Peak District. Lovely place up in the north of England. I know they weren't a rich family. We're not royals by any means. Yes, educated, but kind of an average working class families. I would say the roots of what my family come from. I know my grandfather one grandfather was a welder, or what do you call it? A sparker, I think that's welding, isn't it?
Where, here?
I think it's something like that.
No, hold on.
I'm pretty sure.
I forgot.
Anyway, but welding, hopefully that'll translate. So yeah, he was
Svarka, svarshik.
There you go. Thank you. But yes, my other grandfather, I know he had different jobs. I know he was a truck driver at one stage, logistics for a logistics company. You know, this is going back many years, so kind of manual jobs were very big back then. Grandmothers were just pretty much housewives, and they would always be there for us. So small family. I'm by no means a big family. Probably a big family now because obviously I've got two brothers. They've all got 3 children. I've got 4 children, so we're a big family now. But growing up, no, we weren't. Many other relatives. So no, sorry, I'm going on a bit about that, but I don't know much about my ancestry apart from that, really.
Do you want to say about the war, Second World War?
Well, yes, I do know. Yeah, they served in the Second World War as well, both grandfathers. So yeah, that's something that's always on kind of something you always think about, I think, growing up. What it was like for them, things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I know.
Okay, so another question from Scotland, probably. What brand of whiskey do you prefer?
So I don't drink. I don't actually drink. I decided to. Yeah, I did in my previous years. I've obviously been to university and partied and things like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against alcohol by any means. If you like it, you know, you enjoy it. But kind of family responsibilities and things, leading a busy life, I decided to kind of not really drink. That's all, not at all. So, but if I did have a choice of whiskey, it would have to be a single malt from Scotland. Have to be that, yeah. So that's all I'm going to say about that one, I think.
Okay. There are 2 questions from the same person about books. What's your favorite English classic books, and what Russian authors did you read?
This is difficult. I'm.
So no, you start with how do they teach literature in English school? Can you tell us a bit about it?
So I went to quite an average school growing up. It wasn't anything private, public schools, anything fancy like that. So the kind of curriculum in the UK, literature isn't really pushed, which is, being in Russia now, I'm so shocked and so surprised at how literature isn't really pushed in the UK education system, apart from things like Dickens, Shakespeare, things like that. Obviously you do learn it, but it's not unless you're really very much interested. Yes, I'm educated, I went to university, I've got a degree, but if you're not, I'm obviously growing up, I was quite a boy, so it's quite frowned upon with certain kind of groups you get into growing up. So literature wasn't my big forte. But I would say, yeah, Shakespeare, Dickens, that's all I'm going to say on that one, because I just wasn't really introduced to it in any shape or form what you are here in Russia. On the back of what the question, I think I did know Pushkin. That's kind of the only really literature I've read growing up was Pushkin, and it's just amazing to see how big it is here, even in Orenburg city. Lots of kind of things kind of organised around Pushkin here.
Because he visited the city, yeah.
Because, yeah, obviously you visited the city and yeah, reading the history of that, you understand that a little bit more. But I did actually know about Pushkin. So that is something what amazed me in being in this city of Orenburg. I thought, you know, literature and things like that would be just Petersburg, Moscow. And then as you come into these more provincial, smaller cities, it wouldn't be as much, but it absolutely is. If not more, I've seen literature, arts and museums here than I did visit in Petersburg or Moscow. So yeah, I think that's kind of answered that one.
Okay. Do you say Sorry, do you see any difference between Russian and English people? I think, yeah.
I think I kind of answered that one.
Yeah.
But just on the back of it, what has actually surprised me are the similarities between the British and the English. Not so much other English-speaking countries, I won't name some. It's kind of some of our mannerisms. Yeah, okay, you can see I'm a bit more kind of like, how can I put it? Kind of enthusiastic about being here in Russia and things like that from my videos. But yeah, some of the mannerisms and just the way we react to situations, certain bits of attention to detail, even driving is very similar temperament, apart from kind of thanking, things like that. I thought it was going to be a lot more aggressive in Russia, from what I've been told and stuff, but no, the similarities are there. So yeah, just on the back of what I'd answered previously, I think, yeah, I was kind of amazed at the similarities as opposed to what the question was there. Was it the differences?
The differences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a very long one. From Mexico. Have you read that?
No.
No? Okay. Hi, I'm from Mexico, Mexico City, and have had a Russian neighbor for the past 4 years. He is my best friend now. Oh, that's cool. I wanted to ask if you have an easy time learning the Russian language and what are some things that really stand out about them. Greetings, by the way, postscriptum. I want to see how your neighborhood looks in the summer. Over here we have wet and dry seasons all year.
Well,
that's a very nice.
Thank you for the question. I think what I picked up most on that one was, how is my Russian? Wife's laughing in the background. I think what I should have done is listen to my wife even before we were thinking of moving to Russia. She was on at me, Martin, just learn the alphabet, learn the alphabet. You know, there's apps out there. Duolingo is a great free app just for learning the alphabet. And you know what? Since I've been here, that's what I started with. And it just allowed me to read this alien language as it looked to me from not really, obviously seeing it at home in different kind of literature we had at home, like books and things like that, and church, things at church. But when you first come here and then you see all signs, and you know, from road signs to building names to street names, things like that, so you know, Russian is pushed in your face. I will come on to a second point in a minute though about the Russian language, but I think, yeah, starting with the alphabet is a must. You've probably been told that, I don't know, but listen to people, do that. And then I think just obviously use like apps, things like that, to get the basics. Just get your top 10 basics, like just saying hello, thank you. And don't be scared, because I find, you know, people when they speak English to me, they're scared, shy, and they sound great, you know. And I always encourage them to say, no, you don't. You're absolutely amazing at English. So don't feel as though you're not saying it correctly. You know, that's I think my big problem is I sound just stupid when I say something like Здравствуйте or Привет or Спасибо or До свидания, you know. But I've got used to that, and it's just having the confidence to kind of say it. I think I am going to get some more away from just family. I think you need to use an intermediate person, just to get your skills up, get more kind of vocabulary, things like that, and to be able to construct sentences. So I think you will kind of need some extra support in that. Yeah. So what else was in there?
I think that's it really.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I was just going to come back onto the Russian language. One thing that has also surprised me is there is quite a lot of English here as well. Not people mainly speaking English, but a lot of things are written in English, not the road signs and things like that. It's like, I don't know, say you order something from Azon or Wild Berries, you'll notice a lot of the instructions are in English, because yeah, let's be honest, they're made in China and shipped all over the world. So you'll find they come with English instructions. Going into the supermarket, for example, like branding, obviously Russian brands as much as European brands have tried to produce products so they'll be put out to wider markets, you know, different countries. So they will have a lot of the branding written in English, and even like what it is, say, I don't know, mustard, you're going in for some mustard, or ketchup, or I don't know, coffee, something like that, you know, just not so much condiments, but it's kind of little things. And it just surprised me how much is in English, and you can kind of get by if you have the confidence to do that. Yes, speaking proves a little bit more difficult at times, especially speaking back, but it's kind of, yeah, you can get by. And then if you've got Google Translate as well.
Okay, so these are other questions. You know, I think we finished with the questions.
Community.
Yeah, the community questions. These are questions from other posts, isn't it? Other places. So why Orenburg?
Yeah, again, that's a really good question, and I'll be honest, I'm asked a lot by people I meet in Orenburg, whether they can speak to me in English or Russian. Yeah, we get it translated. Why Orenburg? My wife grew up here.
She was born here.
She was born here. So yeah, she obviously grew up here. We've got family here. Mama and Papa are still here, and our 2 sisters, and obviously nieces now. We initially came to visit the family on the back of when we first come through Russia to St. Petersburg and Moscow and down to Orenburg. We were going to stay about a month here. But the children liked it so much here, especially with what I just explained from exploring the schools and being welcomed into the schools. And we stayed in with Diadeshka, Babasha, Mama, Papa, Yuliya's mum and dad. We stayed with them in their flat. So there was quite a few of us in a 3-bedroom flat. But it was just seeing the boys, how they were able to go out into a park. These amazing parks, whether it's the Soviet era built flats, apartment blocks, or the new build apartment blocks. The parks are just very inviting, they're safe, and just seeing the children away from school even making friends in the park, that to me was incredible to see, but also really made the children feel comfortable. And their words were, after about 2 weeks, they want to stay in Russia. They want to stay in Orenburg because they were close to their grandparents. So that was kind of the children persuading us.
No, they want to stay for winter first.
Yeah, stay for winter. Yeah, that was it. After we kind of knew they were enjoying it so much here, we decided to prolong the stay. I will do another video on this, kind of explaining how we came, but I won't go into it too much detail. But we did prolong. Let me know if that's a good idea, by the way. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on how we travelled through initially. But yeah, my point is, we decided to prolong the stay to see what the winter was like here in Russia. And yeah, the children, again, loved it. And then that's when we put them in the schools. But also, just away from that, for me, it was seeing a smaller provincial city and what it has to offer. It's obviously not as big as Moscow and St. Petersburg, but I think it's somewhat easier to live in a sense because it's smaller. You can get across the city pretty much in a car anywhere in 30 minutes. The buses are very good here. It's very easy living in Orenburg. There's everything you can imagine you want to do. There's the shops, just everything that makes your life easy, from sporting events, for recreational activities, as we are gonna show you further on the channel with new videos. But it was a very easy. I felt safe, most importantly. I felt safe with my family. Yeah, we just kind of fell in love with Orenburg, I think. It just reinforced how nice Russia was, how inviting, how welcoming Russia is, even in the smaller towns, smaller cities. So yeah, we decided to stay.
Yeah,
I think that answers that.
yeah, no, definitely. Well, it's probably also as well. I told you a lot about history of Orenburg and how it started and everything, and all these references over the years, you know, about the weather and about
yeah, sorry,
things,
that was a big factor as well. I forgot that. I'm a big weather person, as you know, from all the snow videos. I love the snow, but it's not just that. I love seasons. I love extreme weather. I like the heat also. It's great to be able to swim in the lakes, or if you live near the coast, swim near the coast, etc. But there's a lot of rivers and lakes around here, and it does get up to plus 40, believe it or not, here in the summer. So you have a good 5 months, I would say, of good weather. So that's important to me. I think it's important to have a happy life, is have seasons. Winter, the transitions between the two, you've got different activities you can do, hibernate in the winter if you want, but then you can look forward to things like the great summer as well. And that's what, in the UK, that's one thing I don't miss is, yes, some of the weather in the summer is good, but we only get like 1 or 2 months of good weather, I say. The rest of it is pretty much miserable, damp, raining, hovering around 10, 15 degrees. You know, we don't get much extreme weather, we don't get snow. So activities like that, you just can't do. And you've only got that like 2-month window. So yeah, it's just nice to have seasons you can look forward to, is what I'm trying to say.
Does your family approve your move to Russia?
That's a really good question. Yes, my family are great. Will give their blessings whatever I do. Were they surprised? They weren't surprised we come for a vacation, but they were surprised that we wanted to stay here. Yes, they don't really say too much about it because of obviously that everything is going on. The one thing I will say is their decisions of what Russia is like is very much blinkered. They are pretty much told how to think from what they read in the news. So they get a bit distorted with their kind of thoughts there. But yes, I've got blessings from my family and I want them to come and visit. I'd love it.
Okay, and why did you start the channel? This would be the last question, I think.
Yeah, again, that's another great question. I felt as though I needed to give something back to Russia. That's from the heart. That's the genuine truth. You've seen that from some other videos. If you haven't, go look through my other videos, first 12 months in Russia. I feel like I have to give some positivity back with this channel, because there is so much controversy going on at the moment, as we know. I won't go into that in too much detail, but it's really come from the heart. It's really a thank you and a kind of giving something back to show you the great people, the great culture, how amazing, safe we are in this country. And for also on the back of that for anybody that's kind of thinking of making the move or interested in even visiting Russia, to show them, yes, it's here. I know Tucker Carlson is a big thing in the media at the moment because, yeah, he's interviewing Putin. So Putin by the looks of it. And yeah, what were his words? Is it, I should be allowed to like this city. It's a great city, you know, and it's getting away from that guilt. Are you allowed to come here? Yes, you are. Explore the visas, come and see this great, beautiful country. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I think that pretty much answers it.
Yeah, sorry. And the last question. Are you getting paid to say all that, what you say?
We've had that quite a lot, yes. It's been a little bit upsetting, I will be honest. And it's kind of like, am I doing the right thing here? Should I carry this channel on? It's, very new to me. I'm by no means a journalist, or even speaking to the camera. It's just very difficult. Well, not difficult, but very strange to me. I'm coming across very, articulate and things like that at times. But no, I'm not. I can't really say much because I don't want to get flagged on YouTube. But no, I'm absolutely not.
You're not doing it for money, are you?
It's not monetary value. Yes, I've got donations, links on the channel. Obviously that helps. But no, it's what I've said in my previous videos at the start. Is genuinely, I'm doing this for some positivity, and it's absolutely from the heart. It feels like, I've said it previously, I'll say it again, it feels like it's come through God, and it's my duty to do this at the moment. So no, I'm not getting paid.
Not even by places where we visit?
No.
Ski place?
Ski place? No.
Nobody pays us.
These are just places off the top of our head that we're thinking of going to while the weather is so bad and it's very difficult to get out. But no, nobody's there's no affiliate kind of, you know, no, there's no affiliation there. So no, I'm not getting paid.
Okay.
It's my time and energy and sweat and blood.
And tears.
And tears. And arguments with wife. No.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. And you wanted to mention about, yeah, videos, like you asking about videos, what to concentrate on.
Yeah, so obviously the channel has blown up very quickly, a lot quicker than we thought in only 2 weeks of doing this. You know, almost 4,000 subscribers, thousands and thousands of comments. We've had almost 500,000 views. It's just wow, you know, and mainly thank you to the community to interacting with us, you know, taking the time to write those comments. But comments help, it gives me inspiration to carry on. So any idea you drop in that comment.
But not about winter tires.
Not about winter tires, okay? Yeah, that's a good one. Not about enough of the car, okay? I wanted to bring my car, so I brought it. It's fine. Yeah, we'll get bad weather, but it's fine. So no, yeah. Any comments we listen to, we're trying to get through them all. It's difficult to get through to the replies. The initial comments, yes, we can read very easily, but the replies, YouTube doesn't make it that easy to filter through. So sorry if we don't get back to your replies of the initial comment, but we've had probably 10,000 comments. So if, yeah, do the numbers on that, probably more than that with the replies and things like that. We've got a few more things going on in Telegram. So join our Russian Travels Telegram group. A few more discussions, obviously, off there, because I can't keep doing just vlogs answering everybody's questions. Maybe I'll do a live. Maybe that would be a good idea. So yeah, follow us on Telegram. There's a few more discussions going on there. I'll try and update you on the community page within YouTube when I've got new content coming out, things like that. But just really also, you know, so this channel was started, it was supposed to be just travel related videos around Russia, but now it's become more of a vlog, I would say, of my day-to-day life, our day-to-day life. So would you like to see more family related kind of vlogs of what we're doing? Just more general views of what the city's like, you know, scenic places, buildings, shops. Do you really want another tour of a Russian supermarket? I can show you my local Magnet if you want. I can show you getting some eggs off the shelf. It's up to you, but just, I don't know, something different. Let me know in the comments. All the ideas are taken on board, and we'll get what content we can out to show you our life in Russia, how we've set in. That's genuine, that's the truth, and how happy I am here, and how, most importantly, how happy the family is, including the children. They're the happiest we've seen them. So yeah, so thank you, really. I think I'll leave it at that. It's yeah, exhausting speaking on the camera a little bit, but remember to subscribe. I've noticed a lot of you are viewing but you're not subscribed, so it does boost the channel. Like and share it. We'll see you soon.